What's up, folks? Welcome to the Grey Exchange. How is everybody doing out there? I am having a fantastic evening, and I have a great guest for you guys tonight. And hold on. Yep, that's how it goes here on the live streams. Anyway, so let me say hello to every few of you folks in chat. We got a couple things to go over, and then we'll bring up my guest, the prepping preacher. Hopefully some of you folks know who he is. If not, you will know who he is this evening. All right, so let me say what's up. Let me go back up this chat a little bit here. Looks like Austin Landry can't make it tonight. I truly appreciate at least stopping by and saying hello, brother. Yarn Prepper is in the house. Scott, how are we doing tonight? Harvey Black, prepping preacher. Hey, Judy, how you doing? Gray Wolf Outdoors. Who else do we got here? Minuteman 69 is still trying to win the Flitz. Hey, JT, how you doing tonight? JRC. Who else do we got? Victorian Preppers. Steve Spillman. Let me see, who else do we got? Judy Henderson, Victorian Preppers. Trying to make sure I don't do repeats. You guys know how I get all confused. I'm here sometimes. Kay Giselle, how you doing tonight? Let me see, trying to scroll down past some of that chatter, which is awesome to see. Happy Org, how you doing tonight? See some new names in here. You guys must be some of the prepping preachers folks over there. I'm glad you guys can make it tonight as well. Colleen Rich, how you doing? Let me see, who else do we got here? Empress Kimberly, Jeff, My Dog Eats Jeans, good to see you. Northern Girl Hobbies, B. Walker, Don Glossender, Sheila, Sergeant Saki, love that name, man. Mitten Man, how you doing tonight? You see us, Big Bear Prepper, how you doing? Don, the Celtic Prepper, and C, Good in the Woods, Granny Goose, Jenny. Let me see, Dr. Did I get that one right? Dr. I always mess up some Doctors Mazakers. Hopefully I got that right. Sandra, how you doing tonight? Batman Prepper. Yes, I get more confused as I grow older. You're absolutely right. Ben Hughes, how you doing? Fluffy Otter, good evening. Let me see, I played with him for a week. Tina Mitchell, Raptor Ranch. Gary Turner from Michigan. All right, folks. I'm going to try to catch you back up in chat, but we got to move this quickly because we have the prepping preacher hanging down in the green room. First of all, let me turn on my banner so you guys know. Today is the last day. Today is the last day for all super chats, super stickers, AdSense, everything we're doing, everything we're raising for Toys for Tots. We have, I forget what date me and the family are going to go out doing the shopping spree from all the donations that I got from the month of November to do the Toys for Tot charity event. So this will be the last day. Any type of monetary things that I get from YouTube, be it my members, be it super chat, super stickers, AdSense, and all that jazz, plus my $500 donation. And we're going to go on a shopping spree and make some children's lives special this Christmas. That being said, I did get a couple things in the P.O Box real quick that I want to go over. First one is from Donna Hazlitt. Donna is an awesome person, and I'm going to try to show you guys this stuff. What's that, Bluegrass RG71? It's kind of hard to get on camera, but I'm going to show you what she's been sending me. So Donna, she goes to thrift stores and picks up books, right? And she creates art out of these older books. And she doesn't actually destroy the book. She does this folding artwork, and I'm amazed at how it looks. But let me show you this real quick. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but that says hope in there. You kind of open this up and you set it up on your thing here, and it has this artwork in there. Now, let me show you a couple of the other ones that she is sending me that I want to show you guys real quick. What's up, Milo? I see you at the corner of my eye. Let me show you a couple other ones, folks, that she is sending me. They're in the mail, and these are amazing. I'm going to show you this real quick and pull this up. But look at that. That's beautiful, folks. That is beautiful. And thank you so much, Donna. I truly appreciate that. You're an amazing person. And I wanted to share that with you, the community. She also sent me a letter. Not a letter, but a little quickie. I also wanted to talk about this card that I got from the Roaming Prepper. Great, beautiful American flag there, folks. And this is from the Roaming Prepper. It says, thanks for everything. Godspeed. Stay righteous. From the Roaming Prepper. Just wanted to chomp in and say a note and wish the family the best. Blessings in these hard times. Pete, truly appreciate that, Roaming Prepper. And Donna, and I don't ever suggest this to you folks out there, but Donna sent a $20 bill for Toys for the Tots, but I just wanted to recognize that she donated some money for the Toys for the Tots. I don't recommend sending cash via the mail. And real quick, Donna wanted me to share this with you folks. It says, GreyMan, I wanted to send something to you and your family. I thrifted these books and then made them for you to say thank you for all that you do. You created a YouTube channel where people can come together in a safe and kind community to learn and have fun together. Thank you, Donna Haslett. Truly appreciate that, Donna. All right, so we got the Toys for Tots thing out the way. We got the hellos out the way. We got that out the way. I think I got everything done. Now let's bring up our guest, which is going to be the prepping preacher.
All right. Hello. Good to see everybody, man. Oh, man, we got a bunch in here, don't we?
Yeah, they're loading on in. We got 100. Everybody's smashing that like button too. So truly appreciate that, folks. What's up, Hawkeye?
Oh yeah. I see a lot of my congregation have showed up, man. Good to see you, Barbara, and all of you, man. Lee, and of course, always got Yarn Prepper, man. Always good. Jennifer Cruz and Empress Kelly. I always want to say Empress. You ever want to say Empress? I mean, I'm promoting her here instead of Impress. So, but I mean, yeah. Gray, I appreciate your welcome. I do, and invite me on, man. I tell you, been watching you for a little while, and really enjoy your channel. And so this is a privilege and honor, man. I thank you.
No, I feel the same way, brother. I feel like we're on the same wavelength, man. We're thinking the same way, just like our phone call this afternoon. Like we both had that. I need to give him a call kind of moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and we've been trying to do this. That's what I was telling some of them. We've been trying to do this for a while. We just keep missing each other, everything going on. And so, but I'm glad we finally got together, got a few of the holidays out of the way so we can come in here and just have a good time. And guys, I'm going to tell you, this is unscripted. Lord only knows what we're going to end up talking about tonight. So, but it's Gray's room, man. And again, I want to thank all the congregation that showed up, man. Good to see you guys. Good to see you.
Yeah, truly appreciate that, folks. And folks, if you guys don't know who the prepping preacher is, I do have his link in the description, and you guys know my mods will be dropping his link as well. We have a lot of community members that kind of go on both channels, but we're also trying to basically, a lot of us folks that have content that we share, we like to, I guess, include everybody, like basically the prepping preachers community, my community, let's say Rudy's community, Bjorn's community, all these different communities. We all have different points of views and ideas and stuff like that. And we like to share them with everybody and then kind of push that message of preparedness out to everyone. A lot of great channels out there.
Yeah, and there is, and there's no, that's what we were talking about today, man. You know, there's no envy here at all, man. It's so we can work together. And we know who the enemies are, and we're not it. Gray and I are not it, you know, and Rudy and Matt, we're not it. We're just trying to work, I think, for the greater good. Man, that sounds like a liberal point, but we're just trying to work for the greater good of all, man, is what it boils down to. And we've all got our own spin, our own little niche in it, you know. So,
yes,
but
sir.
And I told Gray, and I told him today, I said, Gray, you show more of the Christian attitude sometimes than this old preacher does. You embarrass me because you're nicer to the folks than sometimes I am. So, and I just wanted to say, man, he's a good man. I enjoy watching his show because even though he gets some of the same skippies I get, he leaves them alone, man. He leaves them alone. So.
Well, luckily, I said we got some great mods that help us with our channels and whatnot. You know, it's always blessed to keep the chat clean. There's a lot of times, folks, we can get a little, on different types of topics and things that we discuss. Some folks get a little, amped up, and we want to say some things, but we have to be careful because, unfortunately, on this platform, they have the opportunity to censor us or actually remove us technically.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I get them emails. Amen.
So. And that's right there. I want to highlight this real quick. Alan, Edwards, you're absolutely right. We are one big family that has never met. Yeah. Exactly. Hopefully one day we can change that, folks.
Yeah. And I got to do this, man, being the prepping preacher. But, we have the family of God, and then we have a family of preppers, man. You got family all over the place. And that's the cool thing about it. And I love that. And we talked about the esprit de corps. Everybody is supporting everybody in this, and that's, man, it's so good to have that, and it's so missing in society today. Neighborhoods aren't neighborhoods anymore. Communities aren't communities anymore, and so we're building one right here. And what a great thing it is. I
agree 100%. Just want to tell Ibram1, thank you so much for the donation for the Toys for Tots. I truly appreciate that. And folks, matter of fact, I think with my donation, we'll be about $2,000 that we've raised for these children. So that's an awesome feat. And I feel, really good about us in the community that this is what we're doing for these children this year. I think it's awesome.
That's cool.
And I see a few of you folks have said a few things, and me and the prepping preacher, we're just talking about it as we were coming on the air. We both got notifications that yes, the Cuomo brothers are.
It made my day, man. What can I say, man? Dude's gonna roid out, ain't he? You know what I mean? he's gonna roid out over that. But hey, truth and light, truth and time go hand in hand, and they will eventually come out, whatever's going on. And this has come out. I mean, his brother's a sleazeball, and he's a bigger sleazeball. So they're gone. Praise God, they're gone. But I mean, what are they going to replace him with? I mean, I guess it can be worse. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the devil, But that's all I'll say on it. I'm gonna hush.
I hear you, brother. Because we could dive into that, but what I really want to talk about is a little bit about prepping, man. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of you folks. My dog eats jeans. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the kids. And I'll try to keep an eye on that left hand side of my screen here. But because I think a lot of folks, when we discuss certain topics, I think sometimes it doesn't hit home as hard as it should. A lot of times we focus on things like the politics and the crazy stuff that's going on in this world, when sometimes we need to kind of like hyper focus more on like food and water and things of that nature. And I wanted your take on things like this year, let's say in the last 6 months, things that you may have concentrated on a little bit more than usual, in let's say in your prepping repertoire per se.
Okay, well, we and it's a really good subject because we changed our I was going to say AO, our area of operation, as you and I were discussing, and we went from kind of a homestead farm situation to, and I won't say inner city because we're in a small town, but it changed everything up, and to where, well, as I was joking, I said we had chickens, we had plenty of eggs, but now we don't. I mean, we can't raise livestock where we're at. As soon as I got here, I started making raised beds where I had sunlight because we have a lot of big oaks, and started getting vegetables and stuff like that, and trying to get, to be totally self-sufficient is almost, I don't know, man, it's kind of a misnomer because nobody's really there. I mean, because let one medical emergency happen where you need surgery, you're not self-sufficient anymore. I'm not Rambo. I'm not going to be cutting on myself and sewing myself up. I mean, have used super glue in the past, but what I'm getting at is that just try to be as close to self-sufficient as we could. And now we're into more of an urban environment where we actually can see neighbors where we didn't have neighbors before. And so, so what we've been concentrating again is kind of, stacking it, buying it cheap and stacking it deep type attitude for food stuff that we can't, I can't have a beef cow out here. So we're putting, beef back and the different foods, of course. But we have a lot of the standard preps, and that's what I tell everybody, start with the basics, the beans, the rice, all that. We have that stored, but guys, I like good food, and beans and rice will suffice. But man, if I can eat a beef stew, I'm gonna eat a beef stew. So I mean, if you're able to do it, well, then you move your supplies up, and I call it in taste. Doing that. We're going solar right now for a backup and for RV. So we're moving in that direction also with the Blue Eddy and some solar panels and working in that direction. Just purchased a new, more efficient generator, an inverter generator that's dual fuel, so we can run propane. And I'm trying to keep most of my fuel system in propane situation. Yeah, it's easier for me to store. It's less dangerous than the gasoline. I mean, there's so many pluses to it. And so, we've got a multitude now of tanks that we have, so we can use it with, whether it be our Mr. Heater, Buddy Heater, or our stove, or our generator. So that's the direction kind of we're going, just to get as self-sufficient as we can be in case bad things happen. I mean, power, the first thing is food. I always try to tell people, first thing is food and water. I combine them. A lot of people separate them, but they're one and the same. For me, right now, the winter, heat, prime example, hypothermia can kick your butt, and then the power. I tell people power's not as big of a deal if we're talking long term, because what are you going to need it for? I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, you can charge up lanterns and stuff like that, but soon the food will run out on the refrigerator or the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you going to be storing in there? You know what I'm saying? To keep a power going. But for lights, computers are going to be gone, as far as internet goes. I mean,
yep.
So power is not as big a deal to me as it would be for the food, the water, the heat. I mean, the essentials that you can die without. Now,
I was going to say, I can, no, you're fine, brother. You're fine.
Yeah.
I like to let my guest run with it. You know what I mean? Two things. One, to answer that question down there. Yes, if you, the viewer does leave a comment that's, let's say, keywords that Google looks for to ding the creator, they will ding us. And that's why we're so conscientious of what people say in chat and whatnot.
Yeah, we can't even, we were talking about it, that let's go. We can't even say that.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to answer that real quick. And then second of all, no, I agree with you, brother, because if we think of our history, the majority of, what is this going on? My screens are doing some weird stuff. Sorry about that, folks. No, you didn't do it at all. I think it's my wife. I don't know. She's doing something anyways. Oh boy. I don't know what she's doing. Anyways, I'll get back to you in a second. What I was going to say is the majority of American history and history in general, they didn't have power. They didn't have refrigerators. They didn't have today's niceties, and they still survived and prospered. So I agree with you, and I'll let you go ahead and finish where you were going with that. But I just wanted to say, agree with you 100% that power, it's a nicety of today's society that we get to have power and make things easier for folks. But we could do without power if we had to, technically.
Right. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like it. I mean, I like being able to plug in, brother. But what I'm saying is that it's not the top of the list to me. Medical supplies, man, things that you're going to need to live. I mean, you're a medic, brother. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm talking more of the trauma and stuff. I mean, we can't do internal surgery. So it's a scary proposition and that's what I've tried to explain, like with the food, eat your fresh first, and then you go to your canned goods second. And then you go, if you're able to, you have the Mountain House or Augustin Farms, you go to it. Well, that's hopefully 6 months down the road or so. If it lasts more than 6 months, we got a major problem. I mean, right. It's going to be rough on everybody. Now, something I missed when we were talking, though, was electric. Now, some people have equipment that they have to have, or they have to keep their insulin refrigerated. And hey, man, good to see you, girl. She's one of my good congregation there. But and so that I can understand that. I'm not in that position. So and I'm speaking strictly myself and my wife. We're not in that position where we have to keep something refrigerated, or maybe we've got a machine that for my quality of life has to have power. So that would be the only thing, that I would look at. And that would be a good item to look at for solar and possibly a small generator. But get that food, man. That's what we keep. You're going to save money. I mean, come on. We've already seen it go up 25 to 50%. I don't care what they're saying out of the Congressional Budget Office. We're seeing increases like crazy on it. Prime example, last year we do about 40 to 50 families that we try to take care of during Thanksgiving and Christmas with the church. And we were buying Campbell's soup to put in at 50 cents a can. Buying it on sale at a major brand, Kroger, that we've got up here. Mm-hmm. And they were 75 cents on sale this year. Well, that's a 50% increase. I mean, I'm stupid, but I can figure out if you add another quarter to 50 cents, that's 50% increase. But yet everything's 4%. So your money ahead if you're putting, that's what I keep trying to tell people, your money ahead if you're putting that food back. It's not going to go bad. And who has a problem eating, man? I like to eat. Okay. So, I mean, put the food back. So what are you doing, brother?
No, me, that's one thing that I've hyper focused on is alternative fuels, like you said. And I'm huge into propane as well, just because, we can talk about kerosene, but if you look at the history of kerosene's nice to have for, let's say, an outdoor situation. You know what I mean? You want your kerosene lamps or something like that. But we've known that kerosene burning in your home is not probably the best option for you versus something like propane or battery powered, something to that extent. But you can get any of these little propane heaters and propane lights and stuff like that. But I think all in all, alternative fuels outside of gasoline, because even with if you add stable to gasoline, it's only going to last so long. And
Right.
one thing, I know these things are somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for? They are hypothetical. If you watch some of these disaster movies, let's say, for instance, let's just talk about The Walking Dead for a minute. After a while, this show's been going on for a while. Let's say several years down the road, there is no more gas.
Right.
These folks are on horses and stuff like that. So gasoline will disappear, just like other things that we take for granted. Let's say gunpowder. Unless you know how to make gunpowder, you know someone that knows how to do this and process, these reload and stuff like that. But having the primers and everything associated with that, eventually all that will end. So we have to look at alternative means of everything. And the key to survival, and anybody who's a prepper in the preparedness field knows for a fact that food and water are your two biggest things. Now, I'm 100% behind you on the medical thing too, being from my background. I've preached about medical preparedness because medications, and when it comes to medications, I've been trying to get people on this page, and I'm probably going to end up doing a series from the last video that I did. See, people seem to really like that information, is alternate medications. And what I mean, let me state this up front, I am no medical doctor, I have no degree in that kind of stuff like that. But in general, what types of plants can you use, let's say for a headache, for inflammation, for upset stomach, and all the other different things that you can think of, things that are good for, cough and cold, sore throats, things that you normally pick up at the store that you may have to rely on Mother Nature to get some of these things. So you have to somewhat take yourself outside of what the norm is and kind of go back to the old ways. And that's why I'm huge into backyard medicine. And there's great books on that. And just to add to that before I stop babbling on here, that's why I'm another huge proponent of books. Because there won't be no internet, there won't be no Wi-Fi, there won't be no Google or any of those type of search engines. Having that book, that knowledge-based book on everything from construction to plumbing to how to cook, anything that you can possibly think of, having those reference materials in hand and to understand them will be a huge asset if things really go bad.
Yeah. And Foxfire books, man, I love them back in the 70s. Now I'm showing my age now, but I loved it was really funny because as I was getting them, my mom and dad were going, that was how we lived. I mean, because I'm one generation removed from the non-electric, up in the hills of Kentucky. So my parents were born in the 20s. And so they went through all of it. My grandparents were born in the 1800s. So, and guys, they lived the life that everybody now aspires to in the homesteading and all that. They were living it, and I was joking with Stewart County Ballistics. We were joking about it because he's from the farming family too. And I said, they had, one side, mom had 11 and dad had 14 brothers and sisters. Mom had 11. And big family reunions. And I said, well, that was the only way they were going to get an 8-row planter was 8 kids out there planting as they were going through the field. I mean, that's what I was saying about being self-sufficient and all. Get as close as you can. But man, it was hard. That was some hard life right there. And they would go to the store. My dad said probably twice a year. Twice a year. Can you imagine that today? I mean, sometimes we can't go a day without going twice, I mean, because it's so convenient, and that's what we have to look at. That's what we got to prepare for is the little things, man. The little things are what's going to matter. When I say that, they're little now, but they'll be big then. Just triple ointment, triple ointment, how are you going to make triple ointment? You know what I'm saying? After the balloon's gone up, so to speak. Just little things is what you got to look at and try to prepare for.
Exactly. And I know exactly what you're saying, because I something will pop in my head and I can't put my finger on it, but I know the triple antibiotic ointment, that everybody's used to. You get a cut and you put a little bit on there. Well, another easy thing that you can use for that, and I hope a lot of you folks know this, is honey. Getting some good honey out there. It's a great antiseptic for little cuts and nicks and stuff like that. It can do wonders. Other than it tastes good and it's good for you in general, but honey, just learning some of that stuff. And I think, I feel like people who have created certain channels like ourselves, we had this little something nudging us to do this and share this information that we have with others to get folks prepared and to help educate and teach these folks some of the things that we know and spread this knowledge because there's, it's great that we know it, But the more people out there that know the same information that we know, it's going to make things a lot easier for folks down the road. Because if we think about it, it's a scary fact. A lot of folks in their mind, and back to what you were saying, if you do your research, the average person only has about 3 days worth of food in their pantry. That's the average person. I'm not saying the preparedness person. We've taken it to a whole new level. But the average person, which is the majority of the population, only have 2 or 3 days of food.
If that. Yeah.
And because they feel the grocery store is right down the corner. Now, that being said, and all the people I've talked to and all the research I've done, the average grocer, they stock enough food for roughly about 3 to 4 days worth of food for the population in that surrounding area. So if our supply chains are ever cut off or anything ever goes really sideways, people most likely, if they don't have that food, they're going to starve.
Yeah. That JIT, when I was in engineering, that just in time was really starting to hit. And, because we used to have warehouses full and you go in and grab parts, but then it was the parts were showing up, that day, that morning that were going to be put on that piece of equipment. Mm-hmm. And it's well and good for the bottom line, but every link of the chain's got to be there, because if one breaks, it's history. Well, the same thing's used with our food industry now. We had some managers of some major grocery stores in our congregation, and they said they don't have the stock in the back like everybody thinks. Go back and get the stock. It's rolling in today to be put out there today, or that rolls in this afternoon, put out tonight, so that you can buy it tomorrow and wash and repeat. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Rinse it, repeat again. Just keep doing it. And but now we've seen some links of the chain getting broke, and some people are experiencing it. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I cannot find my favorite soft drink when I want to drink it is the Wild Cherry Diet Pepsi. Have not had one in months, and it's irritating me to death. And I'm blaming Biden on that. But there's, that's just the little things though that we took for granted, man. That's what it boils down to. And this is a minor blip on the radar. The major blips, what worries me for so many that are still unprepared. And my mind is blown because we went through 2020 with all the mess that we had, and people still hadn't got a clue. And it breaks my heart. They're not prepared spiritually nor physically. And that's a scary thing. That's why I got on this, hit my mic here. That's why I got on the channel really. Was because of the spiritual and the physical preparedness that people need, man, because time's but a vapor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know that, and we're here today and gone tomorrow. And but let's enjoy the most that we can and be ready for it as it comes down the pike. So
no, yes, sir. I agree, man. It's like we've been expecting East Tennessee Preparedness. Thank you for that super chat for the Toys for Tots charity event. I appreciate that, brother. I can't wait to go shopping. I'm hoping that the people let me use the camera to kind of take some clips of me going shopping and getting some of these toys. But I like that. Yeah, you can't fix stupid. Right on.
Amen.
But I should always get lost in the chat. There we go.
You're good, brother.
What was I saying? I was going somewhere with this. Yeah. So if we look at, like you said, 2020, and you figured all these different issues that arose from that, especially when people's rights were taken away and they're getting, stifled to their home and whatnot. And you're like, you got to do this and you got to do that. And then look at all this. We've lost a huge portion of small businesses through this process as well, which is horrible. You know what I mean? And that's the bulk of your middle class right there, is people who have small businesses and things like that. Homestead Homeboy, thank you so much for that super chat as well. God bless you as well. And so moving forward from where we're at now, with all these small businesses being basically kicked to the curb, and everybody thinks that there's not really a true labor shortage. There's reasons behind that. We can dive into that.
There's a work ethic shortage.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. People prefer, a lot of you folks have probably heard of UBI, which is Universal Basic Income. And believe it or not, certain states like California, Dale Cobb, thank you so much for that super chat. That I think California implemented this year, where they're implementing a UBI kind of thing based on certain aspects of what's going on. But it's not for everybody in California, but they're testing this theory. and seeing how it plays out. And it's you, the taxpayers, that are paying for it. The folks that are actually getting up every day, working hard, trying to provide for their families, are paying for these people to have free money. And this is going to lead into, I'm trying to, how do I say this politely? We'll just use Venezuela. We'll just use Venezuela as the concept. You know what I mean? A lot of you heard of, a lot of channels talk about Venezuela because that's the direction that you see our country going into with the powers that are running this country at this moment. So scary thing, folks. There's a Minuteman 69. Exactly. There's a definite common sense shortage. Agreed. It's I don't know how to explain it. I talk to people every day that comes into my place of business. And, let's say some people might not like the way I use this term, but at Convert, I like to take someone who is unfamiliar with the preparedness community and kind of ask them specific questions when they see, let's say on the big screen, let's say I've had the prepping preacher up there, or if I have Alaska Prepper up there, whoever I happen to have on the screen that day, and they're like, hey, what is this about? That sparks that conversation. And then from that conversation, I get to, I guess, prod a little bit and kind of propose a few questions. And I always ask everybody when they go to pay at the register and they whip out their phone or their little watch and they're paying for that. And I said, hey man, I had a question for you. Imagine if you didn't have access to your bank account, or there was no electricity for, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks. Being that we live in Florida, hurricanes, and I've personally have dealt with this back in 2004. We had 3 of them back to back. We didn't have power for almost a month. Some places further out didn't have power up to a couple of months. Just imagine not having access to your bank. I said, well, how would you pay for food? How would you live? And they give me this puzzled look. And then I go into my whole speech about preparedness and things that they can do to offset issues like that. I think you knocked your microphone might be there.
What about now?
Yeah, you're good, brother.
I smacked the fool out of it. You started talking about people being lazy, man. I tell you what, you don't work, you don't eat. That's what God said. But I'm not going to preach on your side, I promise. But no, one of my kids was down in Texas when Katrina come through, and they evacuated. She was in the medical profession, and they had to evacuate their patients, and but she was able to take her car. Well, there was nowhere that was taking debit cards. They'd already had some problem. They weren't taking credit cards or debit cards for fuel. All they would take is cash. Mm-hmm. And because Dad had told her always to have some $20 bills in her purse, she was able to get gasoline, where a lot of people were not, because the card machines were out. And nobody, they would take cash at these little gas stations, but nobody could run a card through. And so she got to get down the road because she was prepared. And that's what I try to tell people, man. It's a little things that count. That $20 got her enough gas to get on up to Dallas, but down there, on the coast there by Houston, mm-hmm. there was nobody could pump the gas if they did not have cash. And so, what's it gonna? What about that last loaf of bread at China Mart? Mm-hmm. When you go in, okay, if something bad hits, I hope everybody's planning on doing one last grocery store run. I know you got food stocked up, but go again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And try to get your supply. Have a list. Have a list. Work at it. But what if it's the last food? Somebody going to take a plastic? Or are they going to take some of that green, or possibly some of that silver? Mm-hmm. You got to think ahead. That's all it boils down to, is thinking ahead. But just, and that's good what you do. I love your scenario. I do that with salvation. You do it with prepping. I do it with salvation, because I ask, man, if something happened to you today, you died today, where would you be?
Mm-hmm.
To consider it. And then we go from there. But the prepping also, I try to talk to people. I say, we're too reliant on our conveniences that we have. And so what would happen if we didn't have them, and 99% of them think that they're going to be like a character on Alone. You know what I'm saying? Out in the woods, they can survive. If they've never had to live in the bush for, I'm going to say 2 weeks, much less 30 days, they don't know what that's like. I mean, porcelain is a great thing. Amen. I mean, you just don't understand until you've done it, and, God bless the bushcrafters out there, what they do. But man, I want to go as convenient as I can. So prepare now. It's kind of how I look at it.
No, I would for sure. You know, it's I always like to ask folks, like, do you have a get home bag? And most folks will say, well, I don't plan on thanks Zombie Prepper for that super chat for the Toys for Tots. I truly appreciate that, brother. Bug out bag. There we go.
There you
I'm
go.
keep myself on topic here. I'm getting old, folks. I'm getting old. But you know, a lot of people put a bug out. They don't say, well, I don't need a bug out bag. Being that I have all my stuff around me. I have all my food here. I have everything I need here in the house. And this, I'm going to stand my ground until the last piece of brass that exit my rifle or something like that. Understandable, folks. Understandable. But a bug out bag goes beyond just a last resort. Bug out bags can be beneficial in any scenario. If, let's say, I'll use a hurricane again for an example, is the fact that, let's say you have to leave your home, you get evacuated because there's a Cat 4, Cat 5 coming down there. They don't know what to expect, so you take out that bag with things that, like food and all the things you would expect to be in a bug out bag. Because if you get put into some sort of school that you're going to be sitting on a cot with your family, and then you come back home and your house is obliterated and you've lost everything there. That's why I'm a huge proponent of not keeping all your eggs in one basket, having your preps. And let's say if you have parents that are still alive, or if you have a storage facility that's, controlled, let's say temp control or what, if you have something around that you can add other different things, non-perishable foods, or as some people like to use prepper caches, depending on where they live, all these different things, is a bug out bag to me is an essential beyond a last resort. Now there's another term. I don't know if a lot of you folks out there in the prepping community have ever heard this word. I think it's called an inch bag. I'm never coming home. Yeah, an inch bag, INCH. I'm never coming home bag.
And I had that when we were young married. Okay.
Yeah, I've never. That's hilarious. But and I don't hear that too often. But that would be relate to a bug out bag. Now, being that I'm talking about bug out bags, I don't ever want people to get a bunch of stuff and a bunch of gear, pack it into a bag and put it into a corner and forget about it. Because you're going to have to carry this bag everywhere you go. You're going to have to understand that the gear that's inside this bag, and make sure if you put food and stuff in there, that it's going to be food that you're going to eat or at least enjoy somewhat eating. Water. I always like to talk about water because it's a huge issue. On the average, you need at least a gallon of water a day per person in your family. If you have a family of 4 or 5, that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
So having a proper water filtration or water filtration device, or a way to purify water in general, either a way to make fire, some coffee filters to take out that sediment, or whatever that you're trying to do. These are just some key components to making up some of the stuff. I personally haven't done a bug out bag video yet. I've done a get home bag, but I haven't done a bug out bag yet.
I haven't either.
I've pondered it. It's just so much stuff in there, and I have it nice and organized, and I'm gonna have to tear it apart. But
one of these days, like a 45-minute video. I mean, it is. I mean, it's just. But I know nobody wants to watch us for 45 minutes straight. But yeah. But and see, I took it a little step before, and I think Grey, I was in the service a little before you. We had what we called our butt pack, the small pack that was on our belt, on our pistol belt, and then we had our Alice pack that we would carry our gear. Well, the butt pack is what I packed with, and we called it a jump bag, and I still do that in my truck, in our vehicles. We have a jump bag, and in that jump bag we've got a small amount of meds. Okay, you know what I'm saying? We're talking quick clot, we're talking gauze, we're talking small stuff. Aspirin. The older I get, I like to have my ibuprofen. But then. Also water filtration. We've got a Sawyer in it. We've got poncho. We've got, of course, we've got 550 cord. Lighter. I think there's about 3 ways to light a fire in the thing. Even with that, I can't remember the name of the tube, that squirt fire starter. You know what I'm talking about? It's like toothpaste, but I mean, man, it's highly flammable. Map, an actual map of the area. And what I call this is a jump bag. If you have to jump out of your vehicle, okay, we don't know what's going to happen. And to get that bug out bag, many people have them in their trunk, or possibly, it's hard to get or to get home bag. Maybe, it's maybe hard to get this. This is a shoulder bag that you can grab real quick. I also have, and I call it ammunition. I don't do the Freedom Seat or nothing like that. I carry the spare mags for my Glock. My wife and I both carry Glocks. compatible blocks when we're out road tripping, and we do road trip, but this is something that would get us 3 days down the road, so to speak. 2 to 3 days. There is Mountain House inside there. There's some bars, different food bars. It's stuff that we can get going if we have to get away from the vehicle. That could be, you were talking about The Walking Dead, zombie apocalypse, whatever it may be, but natural catastrophe, whatever. Think about it. Train derailment can shut down a place where, there's toxic waste and you've got to go and they won't let you use your vehicle. So many different things that if you end up going on foot. Always keep comfortable boots in the truck if I don't have them on my feet. Extra socks are in that bag. That's an old Army trick. You make sure you got these. And we both have one of these bags with us when we're traveling. We keep it up under the back seat of the truck. And that's going to get me back home or get me to a safe place of safety so much so. But it's a jump bag, but it's not the big jump. I've got 2 bags is what I guess I'm trying to tell you. A small one that I can grab if, God forbid, if we ever get in a firefight, but it's got my ammunition in it where I can get somewhere and get away in case my vehicle has been incapacitated. So
you go ahead and keep. I'm going to step away from the camera 1 second because I just want to show something that how accurate he is. I'll be right back. You go ahead and take it, Prepping Preacher.
Okay, but it's just again, have a plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, or plan A, plan B, plan C. This is weird, man. The host left me. I feel so alone now. But no, man. But now I can preach. He's gone. Look how fast he got back. I was like, man, now I can preach.
Well, this is my bag that I carry everywhere I go, and it's the funny thing is what you mentioned there. I want to open this up. I'm just opening this up right here on live on air, and I'm going to reach down here because you said ibuprofen.
Yep,
that's one of them. But they just teach us in the military, folks, to always have socks. Always to have socks. That just made me think about this. We practice what we preach, folks. No joke. Yeah. No joke, man. It just made me think of it. And I was like, I got to bring this on real quick because you had said a couple of things, but I keep all kinds of stuff in here. All
right, Gray, you're copying me, man. I tell you what. Yeah. that's cool. That's cool. But it just and that's what I try to tell, just think of, again, the little things are what count. If you've ever been in that field situation, if you've ever been out there, it's the things that the little things that made it more bearable, if that makes sense. We'll always be here. Yeah. Pony Girl. I told him I felt all alone, man. Even the host left me on the show, man. So, but, hey, I can get that treatment. I can get that treatment right here. I don't have to come on the internet to do it. But I'm playing, man. But yeah, it just the thing is, you'll make a list and you'll still forget something. There'll still be something that you'll get out there. One thing I always suggest, and I think I can show this on here. It's not considered a weapon, but I carry this all the time. Is my Leatherman, the multi-tool. Always have that multi-tool with you.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going here. I'm doing my everyday carry. I got a stream light always in my pocket. All right.
Oh, man.
Come on now.
Whoa,
okay. There we go. And now they say you can't show guns itself, but you can do knives, right?
Yeah, I've showed plenty of knives on the stream. I have my folder.
Yeah.
And I got my Mora.
Yeah. Thank God for the state of Tennessee. We can carry automatics, So I mean, it's with me all the time. I mean, that's all I can show without getting Gray taken off, guys.
Yeah, it's in the back of my bag there.
If I start showing any more, they're gonna start stuffing dollar bills down my belt. So no. Kidding.
Oh man, and I wanted to address Billy down here from Frontier Preppers. He says, "Hi, I hear a lot of things, but question is, how much coffee do you carry with you?" Well, Billy, believe it or not, I carry I found ways to. I take the freeze dried Bustelo because Billy is from Cuba as well, and Frontier Preppers. If you never checked them out, check their channel. It's pretty cool. I've had Billy and Dee on here as well as guests. So I take the freeze dried stuff. I use a food saver, squish it all the way down, and keep a little bit in that bag and a whole lot in my get home bag. And the last question I saw someone say, I think, where was it at? Bell Prepper 1970. It says, where does one get one of those type of bags? If you email me, I can send you a link to several different types of those bags that might work best for you, from the more affordable to some of the pricier ones, depending on how long you want it to last and whatnot.
Yeah, and I mean, the YKK zippers. There's some things you need to look at, for it. I mean, because there's all kinds of Chi-Com knockoffs out there.
Yes.
That look like 511s or look like some of the better stuff, the Maxpedias and all. And some of the Maxpedia, I think, gear has come down in quality. But yeah, you want a good bag, man, because these plastic latches will break. I guess we're gonna have to do some videos, brother. I mean, because I've been there when I've been walking and the latch just literally disintegrate as I'm walking, and so now what have you got? You've got something you're dragging along, or you're trying to rig up, actually using the zip ties that I carry in the bag to tie the stupid thing on me. I mean, it's crazy. Somebody asked, I think it was Yarn, talking about Leatherman. This is the wingman that I carry. I like it. I've been carrying Leathermans for 30 years, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the other one was. I think it was called a Pulse, or even before the Pulse. I don't even remember now. It wouldn't even, I'll tell you this, it was so old that the knife didn't even lock. You know what I'm saying? It just came out, that's how old it was. But the wingman, you can catch them on sale on Amazon every so often. They'll knock $10 or $15 off some of the of them. And that's what I give. I love to give these as gifts, as a matter of fact, because man, I've done everything. Sorry about that. Bang the desk. I've done everything from repaired the car on the side of the highway with that thing to pulling stuff that had been blown up into my arm with it. Okay, with a Leatherman. So yeah, they're multi-purpose, baby. They'll do a lot of things. Yeah. So what are you carrying, brother?
I was thinking about that because I have so many Leathermans, and the reason this is one that I just started carrying for the last 6 months, because I've started thinking of some of the Leathermans. I've had a couple Gerbers as well. I know in the Army they've been handing out the Leatherman Wave or Ways or however they pronounce that. But the reason I chose this one is I wanted something that I can use one hand. So basically, if I want to open this up, I can just hit these buttons and slide it down.
Yeah.
And then I have all my little can openers. I can flip it this way to get to my blades. Everything is one-handed, because what if you get shot in this arm or something like that, or something happens to this arm? So I tried to find something that I could use with one hand, because some of them are a little bit more complex, and that's why I chose this one. I'm gonna have to figure out which one I have here. It's the I'm trying to read on here, but I'm blind. OHT, out the front or out the I don't know. No, that would be OH. I'll figure it out.
OTF, like the automatic ties. Yeah, OTF.
It just says
I've never seen that one, but like I said, I've been carrying this in probably 10 years now, 5 to 10 years, and it just.
Matter of fact, I think now that you're saying that, because I carry a backup Leatherman.
Yep. Yep. I've got one in the bag and one in the truck console, as a matter of fact.
Because I'm telling you, folks, you guys will never know how useful these things can be. And people say, well, Leathermans are pretty pricey. Well, there's a reason why they're pricey, is because it's something that's going to last you for a long, long time. You can buy the $19.99 special Ozark Trail, and you're going to find that these blades aren't sharp. They're going to snap on you. They're going to break. There's no warranty behind it.
Oh, the pliers. You go to really cinch down and they bend instead of grip. And now I know Leatherman has taken the lifetime guarantee off of them. They used to have a lifetime guarantee when I first started getting them, and now they've got a limited type of guarantee on them. But but I've not had. I broke one plier on them. Is all I broke.
Thanks so much.
One hand tool. There we go. Somebody help you out, huh, brother?
Boom.
Yeah. I've never seen that one. I like that. And see, that's the reason I carry an automatic knife, or what they called a switchblade back in the day, is because exactly what you're saying. I can maneuver that thing with one hand. Whether if you're occupied with one hand, I've still got it where I can pop it out. And I know a lot do the thumb thing, but I don't know. I just love that spring back, that when it pops out, I know it's there and it's locked. And that's a Kershaw is what that is, American made. I do like it. Funny story. My son bought me the Infidel?
Oh, okay. The Infidel. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's is that the Benchmade Infidel? Is that what that one is?
I think it is. Yeah. And he had it custom engraved. Now, see, the sweet thing is, or for him, is he's a junior. So it's the same initials. And because I told him, I said, man, I'd never carry that knife. It'd scare me to death if I lost that expensive of a knife, I mean, or did something stupid like I do with my knife sometime and watch the tip fly off of it, I mean, so yeah, but I mean, get a good quality knife also is what I'm trying to get at. Don't the Ozark Trail, and I understand sometimes you got to do with what you can, but you get what you pay for. Get a good quality knife out there, and there are plenty of them out there. But I like to have them made here in the United States of America too. I just don't. I don't support the Chi-Coms. I mean, any way that I can. I know I have to shop in China Mart, but brother, that's the only store we got. I mean, so it's either do that or go without, or Amazon, and I don't think that's much better than Chi-Com. But
yeah, no, I was thinking of someone said something about dad's advice. I missed it. And it said something about don't use it as a pry bar unless it's a Becker. If it's a Becker BK,
yeah,
you can use that as a pry bar. You can nail that into a wall and step on it that's I wish I had mine here, but I'm not going to leave the prepping preacher all by himself again.
I get lonely, brother. Are you talking about is it the K-bar Becker? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
The K-bar Becker.
Yeah,
and there's the Becker 22. There's several Beckers, but you guys will or a good Essie. Matter of fact, I have their shirt on. Yeah. A good Essie, like the SE5 or something like that. They are roughly about almost a quarter inch, or no, 3/8 of an inch. I know they're pretty thick.
I think they're a quarter. I think
you're right.
Yeah, what I do for the boys in my family for Christmas, and we just celebrated our Christmas early. Was I always give them a knife for Christmas with a quality knife, and that's what I just gave them was the I think it's the Rat 3 or something to that effect, or SE.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know what I'm saying? The small, beautiful balance. I mean, unbelievable knife. And it is, I think that one's a 1/4 inch thick, but it's not made for batoning. I mean, it's a small knife, but still good quality. It was like $100, I mean, but, and that's what I'm saying. You can get good quality knives. Yeah. K-bar, they're still made here in America, most of theirs. Now there are some that are made out they're doing the same thing. They're outsourcing like Kershaw is. But yeah, good quality knife on me all the time. Leatherman on me, flashlight. Funny story behind that, but I carry a flashlight everywhere I go. And my weapon. I mean, as somebody asked, said, do you carry a gun always? And I said, when I got my pants on. I mean, it's just it's natural. It's a natural thing. I mean, I have it. I have it when I'm preaching. I have it when I'm out in the neighborhood. I have it all the time. I mean, it's stupid not to. And if you're able to, if you're legal to. Guess what? People want to hurt you today. And I've talked about that with Christians, and they said, well, we understand we're going to be persecuted. And I said, yeah, but all violence that's committed against you may not necessarily be in the name of Jesus Christ. A lot of it's just pure evil trying to jack your car. And so, protect yourself is what it boils down to. Yeah, JT got a K-bar. All right, cool. Yeah, I want a machete. Oh, no, girl from Freedom, no. I'll answer that one, no.
Oh, man. God, man, machetes have their place, folks. Every blade, so people, because I sell a lot of knives in my shop, so I have to, break down types of steels, what they're used for. And just like on the live stream we did the other day, I was showing the difference between, let's say, your standard Mora versus a Mora that is carbon steel, because you got here's your regular Mora. I have a lot of Moras, folks. I just like to, but the two differences between the carbon steel Mora, and I know my camera's probably not going to focus on these things, but there's a stainless steel and a carbon steel, and there's reasons why they make these different types of knives. But I explained that on that one live stream, and some people didn't know, which was surprisingly, because the stainless steel, and if you have a ferrocerium rod, a stainless steel knife.
We're gonna start showing knives.
Don't make it go to the other room.
Now we're gonna start showing knives now. That right there's an RBH custom made. Somebody asked me, was it fake on one of my lives? And no, it's not fake. That thing weighs about 3 pounds. But that's an RBH custom Bowie. And you know what? That's all it's good for, is hanging on the wall. I wouldn't use this thing. I'm not lying. It's quality made, but I mean, what do I need that for? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do I need? I'm not Crocodile Dundee. That little Mora that you showed, you can do just about anything you need to do with it. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
if you're going to be chopping trees, well, guess what? Get an axe. I mean, let's be practical here. You know, but just a small 4-inch blade, you can do just about anything. I don't know. You know, and some people say, well, that's a hunting knife. No, man, I would never try to skin a deer with that thing. You know. And knife fights, I'm going to tell you exactly what my drill instructor taught me. He said, everybody gets cut in a knife fight, so don't get in a knife fight. That's why I carry a gun. You know, so idiots bringing a knife to a gunfight. I mean, I want to have the gun.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, them Morris, they're great little knives. They're fairly inexpensive. I mean, the lower end, what are they? Under 20, aren't they?
You can get one for about 20, 22 bucks.
Yeah.
The carbon steel is a little bit more expensive, but if you catch them on sale, like I said, the edge retention on them, like I said, I can go from feathering wood with that more and to go and clean a fish and fillet that fish, like just boom, boom, no problem at all. It's just phenomenal what you can do with that small knife. And you said a key thing on there, because I've talked to a lot of bushcrafters and they say about 4 inches. 4 inches is a good solid knife. Yeah. That's like the all-purpose kind of blade size right there.
Well, you're telling me that the carbon steel is more expensive than, what's the other one, 440 stainless?
Yeah. Something just popped up. Milo, yeah, I carry the Gerber strong arm as well. I carry a lot of different knives, folks, depending on what I'm doing and where I'm at, I guess you can say. But the Moore is always on my hip as my daily. And let me verify that before someone in the comment section says, what are you guys talking about? Moore is this? Let me see. Made in Sweden, stainless. I think you're correct though, brother. I think you're right. It's not. It's because there's nice knobs out there. I've had to deal with some folks because I just learned. Have you ever heard of Damasteel?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Damascus, you got Damasteel, you got all different types of carbon based steels. I think the Beckers are a Crovan steel. There's all these different super blends. There's so many different types of metallurgy out there, and it's hard to like put all this in your head and try to memorize it. You know what I mean? But just get yourself a good knife. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, the carbon steel usually I collect old charade knives. Made USA. That's what as a kid, I couldn't afford the bucks or the case. I mean, we were poor. And so I would get a old timer or Uncle Henry and something like that. And so I collect them now. I try to find them new in the box. You know, that's this baby boomers deal. I don't find 1964 Mustangs. I find old charade knives. And that carbon steel holds a good edge. I mean, that's what their majority of theirs was carbon steel. And I mean, rust like the Dickens. I mean, if you don't take care of it and you oil it, but man, it'll put an edge on it and it'll keep an edge. That's the difference too. I mean, cleaning deer and whatever, you're not having to sit there and run it and sharpen it as you're going through. What is the best steel for knives? Man, that is a loaded question.
That is. That's why I threw it up there, because that's not an easy question to answer. But
9mm or 40s, you know what I'm saying? 223s or 308 or 7.62 by 39. Yeah, that's a hard question right there.
But Arkansas lady, whatever knife that you end up with, I use stainless and carbon. Most of my blades is whatever knife that you have. It's just like with anything. If you have a firearm, you want to take care of it. You want to keep it clean. You want to keep it oiled. You want to maintenance these things that you need for survival. To me, that's with anything, even a water filter. Let's say you go out and you're playing around with your water filter. Make sure you flush that water filter. If not, it's going to clog up, and when you need it the most, it's going to fail on you. So with anything, it's all about maintenance. Just to be honest with you.
Yeah. And you were right, Grey. There's so many different, that's what I was looking. I didn't even know what the Kershaw was. And it's a steel I've never even heard of, something like a 154. There's so many different varieties now, you know. I mean, this one, it holds an edge fair. I'm not going to say great, because I have to sharpen it quite a bit. It's mainly a box cutter. You know what I'm saying? I'm opening up Amazon boxes. That's what I normally do with it. But, well, that cardboard will dull it faster than anything. But but like I said, it's not, as far as what kind, get a good brand. Don't so much worry about the steel. I mean, get a good brand. Buck is a good knife. K-Bar is a good knife. Some of the Kershaws, and I know there's going to be some knife aficionados that are going to have a fit me saying this, but like the Benchmates, they're $400. I mean, and up. I mean, to each his own. With that, I'm not going to spend that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would rather spend. back in my day, I thought $100 was a lot for a knife. Now that's about a going price for a good, average, strong knife now. And so, but it still gripes me to have to pay $100 for a good knife. But because I know the steel isn't that expensive. But what I'm getting, and a lot of times you're buying name brand, but there's some good quality knives out there for $40 and $50 with Buck and K-Bar. K-Bar makes some great knives. Some fantastic knives, not just the Marine Corps fighting knife. I'm talking about some of their hunting knives or what we call utility knives. And,
right.
And you don't have to spend. Look, it's it's the same with the rifles and everything. As long as it's doing its job and you're saving money, we'll put that money somewhere else. Is what it boils down to. A lot of people have to have the greatest and the newest and all that, man. I just want something dependable, I just want something dependable.
There's something I was thinking as you were saying that it made me pop up because yes, who would want to take a $400 or $800 knife? Let's say I love there's a company called Bear & Sons made here in the USA. I love them. But I don't want to take a $600 knife and beat the crap out of it in the woods, even though it might work, but I just feel bad because it's such an expensive knife. So if I'm going to use something as a utility knife, I want something that's affordable but decent. Now, folks, be careful. I'm going to use this as an example. Gerber Strong Arm. So Gerber has American-made knives. Gerber is out of Portland. So if you get a Strong Arm, it's a Portland-made knife here in the U.S. Now, Gerber also has Chinese manufacturing. So, of course, the quality of that is going to be a lot less. And a lot of these companies do it to be competitive and stuff like that and to put their stuff into China Mart and places like that. So I understand from a business standpoint, but make sure you know what you're buying. If you're buying it from a Bass Pro or Academy Sports, if the person is not knowledgeable behind the counter, you may be paying too much for something that's not going to be worth the dollar that you're putting into it. Spend your money wisely when it comes to anything.
Yeah, what I was talking about, what I collect, the Charade, the Uncle Henry Old Timer, and the Charade Scrimshaw. Since 2004, none of them have been made in America. They're made in China, and they're, trust me, the quality of them is a quarter of what the ones that were made here in America in 2004 are.
Right.
And reflective of the price. I'm trying to think, like a Golden Spike, Uncle Henry was, when I bought them back in the day, was like $35, $40. Well, you can still buy one brand spanking new at Walmart for that price. But to get one like I'd bought back in the day, it's going to cost you $150 brand new in the box, or $200. If you can find new old stock, as they never understood it, new old stock, if you can find it like that. So, but it's because you're buying the quality of being made here in America. And let's bring it back now. Bear & Sons make some quality knives that are made here in the U.S. They make like a sharp finger.
Right.
That's a nice little knife, and that's made here in America. And I don't think they're but about $30 or $40, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they got some decent price ones, depending on what you're looking for. I know I've looked at some of their butterfly knives, and they have some really great ones. If you guys are familiar with butterfly,
do you play with butterfly knives? Do you do that?
I haven't done that in a long time, to be honest with you.
I'd never messed with one. I always thought that was an easy way to shear my finger off. You know what I'm saying? No.
But yeah, if you definitely, if you're going to be playing with something, especially a Bear & Sons version of it, you want to be very careful because you will probably slice yourself open with that.
Hey, you were talking about machete, and the reason I said no on a machete, a few years back, I was clearing some woods on the old farm, and I was tired. And when you get tired and you're using a very sharp instrument, you need to take a break. It was hot, I was sweating, and I did something that I wasn't supposed to be doing. I chopped towards myself. I was tired. You know what I'm saying? And so I got lazy. I got comfortable. And when I hit the limb, it deflected, and it went down and hit my thigh.
Oh.
But my gun was there. It went through the holster, and I heard it clink the metal. And it took me about, 10 seconds before I wanted to look to see if I had this huge gash in my leg, because I was like, I felt the force of it hitting, but it didn't, it just barely nicked me, just one edge of the knife barely nicked me. I mean, I had a little bit of blood, but it cut through my pants, the holster, and the gun. And I mean, luckily, it didn't cut through the gun, but I mean, it stopped on the gun. If I hadn't had that gun in my pocket, I could have been in some dangerous territory, because I would have had to have put that tourniquet up very high and get myself by myself to the doctor, to a hospital quick. And so that's what I said, make sure you know what you're using and how you're using, and don't do like this old dummy and get comfortable with it, because that's as soon as you do, you're going to get cut. And it can be very major with the arteries that you have running through, man. And a good sharp one, you won't even know you're cut. You won't even know you're cut. But I don't know, man. We took over with knives here. I didn't mean to do that, brother.
Yeah, no, I got sidetracked too. Hopefully the folks enjoyed the knife talk. You know what I mean? Poor holster, right, JT? Yeah. Oh man, but never heard of a butterfly knife. Really, Donna?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a classic. If you guys you can check out Bear & Sons knives, and you'll see there's some. I have one of their shirts, and it says "flip something repeat." It's pretty funny. Like I said, it's a type of knife. It's not something I recommend you go out and buy. You know what I mean? It's not a really good utility knife.
Not a good prepping knife. I'm going to tell you that
now.
No, not a good prepping knife. I mean, it's I'm surprised you hadn't seen it in the martial arts. That's when I always see them guys flicking them, in the old martial art movies. Them and nunchucks. I mean, I've tried to knock myself out a few times with them when I was younger. So, yeah, no, I'm not coordinated enough, man. It's just let me just say, this is dangerous enough having a switchblade. Had them go off in your pocket, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, brother, I appreciate it, man. We got hey, Zombie Farmers up here. That is a good dude. That is a good dude right there. You missed the knife talk. I imagine Zombie could tell us some tales about knives too. But
it's funny. I'm sitting there looking because just in case you pulled this on me, I did as fast as I could, brother. But I did make one. I did make one just in case. Okay,
you brother.
You have it too,
I beat you to it. He's got a bill.
I made a bill and everything, man. I was like, I'm going to try to do this. And people are probably looking at us like we're insane and like, why are we following these folks? But when I put this one together with the bill and everything, I mean, this is stylish, folks. This is stylish.
I'm ready for the Tin Man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could go to the discotheque back in the 80s, brother. You know that and be cool. All you need is some Elton John glasses, and you got it made.
Oh
man.
God, I got tears in my eyes, man. I got tears in my eyes. Oh boy.
Oh, can you do Rocket Man for me? I'm just wondering, man. Can you sing Rocket Man?
Oh God.
I needed a heart, but I'm thinking, brother, with that hat, you needed a brain. Okay, just.
Oh boy, man. I'm sitting there staring at that all damn night, man. All right.
We got to have fun. And that's what we were telling everybody is life's too short, man. Don't get so serious. Don't let this fear get to you, man. Do what you can with what you got as you got it. And just, like I said, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. I mean, that's what we got to do. And we're here for you. 1 for Grey's hat, 2 for Tim's. All right. Yeah, if I can get, I'm wanting smoke to come up out of mine. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to re-engineer it, every time my Skippy gets on here.
My dog eats jeans. Thank you so much for that.
Can you cover your Patriot hat and full? No, that ain't happening, girl. That ain't happening. I ain't messing with my face. Yeah, we're gonna have to get Grey on board, man. You got to get on the hat game, brother.
Yeah,
you got to get on the hat game.
It's funny. That's why I use this coffee mug today, because I figured you were going to be wearing that hat. I had that one right there.
I was gonna throw one on when you opened up the live, but I thought, no, man, I'm not going to do that because I got them all, brother. I got them all. We're going Davy Crockett. We're going Davy Crockett, man. Wait a minute, I ain't done. I got one more. Where'd he go? Oh yeah. Okay, gotta have this one. It's the season, man.
That one is awesome. Yes.
There we go. Yeah, gotta have that. I wear this one in the church, man.
It's funny you put that on there. Hey Donna. How you doing? He says, I told the wife, I said, when we do this Christmas shopping for the kids, I said, I'm going to have to buy me a Santa outfit. I said, are you going to I told her, I said, you need to dress up like an elf or something like that. Let's make this fun.
Yeah. Have you ever been able to get yours on camera? Mine won't.
What you're trying to get on camera?
The wife.
Oh, she won't. I think she may make an appearance for the Christmas because she's really excited. When I got, yeah, right, Christopher. She she's been very leery of it for a while, but I think she might have made an appearance once. But it's funny, man. Now you're making me look around because I got hats all over the place too. I'm just looking around.
You are so ADHD, brother. I start putting on hats, man, and you've lost all train of thought. I love it.
Pretty much, man.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Got to have some fun, though.
No, agreed. And that's why, I figured, I saw that. And I said, I have to use it in tonight's stream, at least at one point or another.
I did it one time with the tinfoil, and now I get requests for hats, man. It just blows me away. It cracks me up, See, when I go hunting the Elmer Fuds, when I go after the skippies, and we go hunting them. But now this is my favorite right here. That's my favorite right there. And
that's a good ad, yeah.
Yeah.
Annie Bach, Annie Bach, welcome to the Grey family. I truly appreciate that. Let's talk prepping. Good to see you, brother. People are coming in right where we're getting ready. We're past that hour mark, folks.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, and we're not allowed out of our cells but for an hour with good behavior. So I mean, and here lately we hadn't had any good behavior. I mean,
where did I see that at? That's great. Thank you so much, Julie. They appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate it. We're gonna have to do it again, Grey. We are. We're gonna have to do it again and have some fun, man.
It looks. Let me see. Someone else.
Andrew, good to see you, brother.
I saw that. Yeah, here we go. Yep. I guess you're right, man. Sheila says such a great match you guys make.
Yeah, well, and we hadn't argued one time, man. I don't know what's up, man. Preppers usually can't get together and do that, can they? I mean, but no, we Grey and I have a lot of the same philosophies, man. There you go, JM. Cool.
Thank you so much, JM. I appreciate that.
JM in elf clothes. Okay, he's bribing.
I'll let her know.
I've gotten my wife to speak on camera. You know what I'm saying? But as far as going on camera with me on the lives or anything like that, it's not going to happen. I got a great wife, but she wants to stay in the background, man. That's why she puts me out front, man. Behind every good man is a woman just shoving them. Just. But no, I've got a great wife, and the people, the congregation on here love her. I mean, when they hear her talk, man, the whole chat goes about her, and but I cannot get her on the camera. It will not happen at all. Start with her hand, okay? No, get her. Yeah, we had her hand. She was, if you remember right, girl, she was pulling the names that we had from the drawing, brother. Let me tell you, that was fun too. I mean, I had 400 to 500 entries in that giveaway, and I had to print them all out and cut them, and then drop them into a hat. And we pulled. That's how we pulled names. But yeah. But no, man, I've taken over. Awesome. I don't know what that means. Bubbles. I don't know what that means.
I missed it. But no, awesome. Bubbles. Awesome babbles, maybe.
Okay, talking about us.
Probably, because we're just rambling on now. Yeah. I see people starting to click off. They're like, okay, these guys are done talking. They're just going to have a good time.
Yeah. So, man, again, I appreciate this. I really do. I enjoyed it. It was an honor to be here, brother.
No, I truly appreciate it, man. I've been mentioning you a while. Like, I'm going to get them, guys. I'm going to bring them on the channel here sooner than later. Oh, man. But and we just kind of thrown it together. I think we had a pretty good chat. I think we had a lot of folks seem to enjoy it. We have 202 thumbs up, so that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's fantastic, man. And I don't know how many you had concurrent, but probably a couple hundred, I'd say.
Yeah, we did. I can't see right now. Last time I looked, we had about 230, 40 people in there. So that's a pretty good turnout, man.
Fantastic. Well, brother, I'm not going to keep you anymore. How about this? I know it's your site, but can I close us in prayer, man?
No, honestly, brother, I was going to ask you to do that before, because I'm loading up my live stream outro. Before we get into that, real quick, I do want to say, Donna, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Truly appreciate that. But I want to say thank you to all you folks out there that stay tuned and watch this for the entirety. Truly appreciate every single one of you folks. Mod, you guys know you are a blessing to this channel and things that you do and help out. Keeping the chat clean and friendly, family friendly. And like I said, if you folks haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do. And if you're new here from the Prepping Preacher, take a look at some of my content. You never know, you might like some of the stuff. I've been trying to get people to watch some of the older stuff because, matter of fact, you had mentioned hypothermia. I've done videos on hypothermia and dandelions and food and pantry items and medical stuff. I got some decent stuff out there if you guys want to check it out. So I truly appreciate that. And that about wraps it up for me. Also, I want to thank you, Tim, for just kind of hanging out with me and taking the time to come on the channel. So I truly appreciate your time, because all our time is valuable. So go ahead.
Amen.
And if you could do lead us out in prayer. And after that, we're going to go ahead and run the outro. And I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow and on Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Late Night with Grey. Let it roll, brother.
All right, brother. Man, Lord, we just thank you again for this time that you've afforded us, the fellowship that we've had with all our brothers and sisters and new friends that we've met. Father, I ask now that you put a hedge around them, protect them. Father, let them carry on and do your will. Again, we thank you. We're not worthy for all that you do for us, but we thank you in your son's beautiful name, Jesus Christ. And all God's children said, amen.
Amen.
All right, brother. Love you. Appreciate it.
Not a
God
problem, brother.
bless. All right. We will see you later.
All right. You folks have a good one. You guys take care. God bless.